I can give you a word of advice as well while we're talking about things failing in the field. When you use a square drive hydraulic torque wrench with the socket, I've implemented a safety program years ago because I've seen failures in the field. If your guys will take the time to get some duct tape and just put 2 wounds of duct tape just around the skirt of the socket, the working part of the socket, they don't have to sit here and put 15 wounds around it. 2 wounds of duct tape is sufficient. If the socket does break, and they explode when they break, when they're up under a hydraulic wrench, because there is a lot of pressure on these things, that duct tape will retain the socket and keep it from flying through the air and being a black hand grenade. Well, I've actually had customers call me and thank me for doing safety training to their crews because they've had failures in the field and their people implemented the duct tape thing and they didn't have a lost time accident, they didn't even have a recordable. So it kind of made us feel good knowing that we were doing something good for the customers. We've got a little bit of extra storage space here in the shop. We're always trying to look into getting into different and better things as far as maybe Meridian machines and stocking those parts here, getting into stocking tensioners as well, because we do find that there's a lot of desire and want and need for tensioners as well, so that's probably going to be the next step of growth for us. I do want you to go over here and see the initially when we took this side of our shop over, in my mind's eye I was seeing this part of our shop as being what we consider our shipping department. So we've got all of our finalized equipment over here, all of our hoses are hanging up on that wall, and on the adjacent wall over here we have a small little area where we pack our stuff up, get it sent out, weighed and all that. I will tell you, one thing that I've found has helped us be successful is knowing what our customers need and doing what our customers need without our customers having to tell us that they need this. For instance, we do a lot of work in refineries, or our customers do, and they may be up on a real high tower, say 80 foot up in the air. They need to know that their equipment's going to work when they get it out to the job site, when they come over here to get rental equipment. So what we do, when we get something that comes in out of the field, it goes into the lab that I showed you a while ago. My guys completely and thoroughly go through the equipment, make sure that it's working properly, it's in great condition. They bring it over here on this side and they store it once it goes through its check-in process. When a call comes in for rental equipment, they'll bring a card over here, they load the equipment up, they take it back in the lab, they hook it back up, they test it again. It's one more step that we take. It does take more time, but the customers don't run out of here with a tool that we miss something on and get up 80 foot up in the air and the pump's not working, for instance. We try to take an extra step to keep something like that from happening. Another thing I can tell you that's helped us be successful is maintaining good records. Every tool in the shop has a calibration certificate on it. We have multiple copies of the cal certs in our file cabinets, so it makes it a lot easier for our guys to pull the cal certs out and put it in the customer's hands when they come here. They know when their QC guy out in the field comes up to them, all they've got to do is say, here's the cal cert for the tool. We keep very meticulous repair notes when something comes in. Every piece of equipment is received. Every piece of equipment has notes taken in a composition book in the lab. When the composition book, when the tool has gone through the proper check-in and everything's been done to it, the repair technician will take that composition book and go sit in the office and create a repair report. We keep this repair report in our server, which is backed up off site twice a day, 2 different locations throughout the U.S. So we can always go back, no matter how far we need to go back, and pull the history up on a piece of equipment. It helps us, it helps our customers, it helps everybody do everything that we need to keep going to be successful at it. And that's about all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the tour and good torquing. I want to show you as well, we're back in our cow lab here. This is a piece of paperwork that we've created to help us out. It's actually a rental return. We have a receiving repair, and we also have a rental return for equipment that comes in here. This helps our paperwork flow so we can trace what came in. Was it a rental return, or is it a customer-owned piece of equipment that comes in here for repair? One of the things that we've found that's really helpful for us is putting the time of day that this stuff comes in addition to the date. As you can see, I don't know, your camera might not be able to pick this up, but it tells you the date received and the time received. We are always in a position of process improvement, so when we see something that needs changing, we implement it right away. That's one of the great things about being a small business. We can implement a change immediately. We don't have a lot of bureaucracy to go through to get something like that done. I want to take you over next door and show you a couple of safety tips. If you'll follow me, you can go ahead and pause your camera and we'll pick up as soon as we get up. Hey, I wanted to bring you over here and show you, want to talk just a little bit more about some safety issues. I got to thinking about this and I wanted to get this in this video for you. But the remote control, this is a pneumatically driven hydraulic torque wrench pump. The remote control seriously should only be held by the tool operator himself. Meaning that if there's more than one person on a job, a lot of times you'll find one guy's holding a wrench over on an application and there's another guy's holding this remote control. I cannot stress the importance of this enough. The guy holding this remote control has got that other man's safety in his hands, literally. There are times that you absolutely have to have two people because the hydraulic wrenches are heavy. They do need to be held by one or two people sometimes. We work in a difficult environment, try to work as safe as we possibly can. We can sit in the classroom all day long and say the perfect thing is never for anybody other than a tool operator to carry this remote control. That keeps the liability of the company intact as far as the attorneys are concerned. The real life situation is that's not always possible, and you do have to have another man hold that tool on an application while there is another man running the remote control. Although we don't ever want to tell you that that's okay to do. I'm telling you that's what happens in the real world. So in that situation, it's been my experience, and I'm passing this along to you from that experience out in the field, that when you get into a situation like that, I can't convey enough to you that communication between the tool man and the operator man, whoever has this remote control, is so vital. They have to have verbal communication with each other, and if possible, visual communication with each other, being that I'm ready for you to energize the tool, and the operator, being me right now, would say, are you absolutely sure you're ready? The tool operator can say, yes, I'm clear, energize the tool. If they don't do that, you can have a situation where the tool operator can crush his fingers on holding that wrench. If the tool or the remote control operator energizes the tool thinking that guy's ready and he's not ready, it can seriously maim and hurt him for the rest of his life because they didn't pay particular attention to voice and visual communications between the two of them. I want to carry you over and show you a rad gun here. One little piece that I left out when I was explaining about the rad guns to you earlier. Thought about it and I want to carry you back over here and just run over it real quick. Won't take just a second. When we're out in the field operating one of these tools, the annulus of this tool rotates. Your reaction arm is going to rotate when you see resistance from the drive. When you put this tool on a nut and you pull the trigger, when the drive starts turning, when there's some resistance felt here, the annulus of the tool is going to rotate. And it's trying to rotate over to get to an area that the reaction arm can actually react against. There's a right way and a wrong way to hold this tool. You see in the videos, I'm holding it the right way. This is the wrong way to hold the tool. I'd never hold the tool this way. I don't hold the tool while I'm in the shop this way. I don't get in the habit of ever putting my hand on this reaction arm. This is the largest safety concern I can tell you about a rad gun. Keep your hand away from this area. Your hand should go on the barrel or the annulus of the tool to help you get the tool on an application, or remove the tool, or just moving the tool around. This is the proper place to put your hand. Never place your hand up on the reaction arm. That way you won't ever have a problem, you won't never have an injury. Thank you for your time.